Trump's Department of Veterans Affairs is lying about mental health care cuts. I need you to watch this because veterans' lives depend on people knowing that this is happening. Doctors from the same VA hospital that saved my life when I was in crisis brought this to me back over the summer. Veterans are being cut off from life-saving therapy, not because doctors say that they're better, but because Trump's VA leadership is forcing arbitrary limits onto care. I first wrote about this happening at a VA on Long Island back in June, and ever since then, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and other mental health professionals from around the country who work at VAs have been coming to me telling me what's going on in their hospitals. They've been reaching out to me for months. They showed me the evidence, and I gave that evidence and those sources to CNN. Now that CNN's published their investigation, the political hacks that Trump and Doug Collins have installed at the VA are denying everything. They're trying to pretend that these whistleblowers don't exist, trying to pretend that the documents don't exist, and they're trying to pretend that veterans aren't actually being hurt. Let me tell you what's really happening. VA doctors all over the country have told me that they're being pressured to end therapy with veterans after just 12, 8, or even 4 sessions. And this is even for patients with a history of self-harm. These doctors are being told that if they don't follow these limits, their careers are over. Veterans told me what it feels like, and I can imagine because I've been getting care at the VA for nearly 20 years, and it is essential to my survival. One Marine who survived addiction and multiple attempts told CNN that he felt like he was thrown away like yesterday's trash. After finally finding a therapist who helped, who he built trust with, and then just being cut off arbitrarily. The VA claims this is about episodic care, a metrics-based model that's supposed to make more efficient care. But they've twisted what's supposed to be an evidence-based treatment method into a weapon to slash VA's budget and push veterans out of the VA system. They're using it to ration care, not improve it. They're using it to meet quotas, not to save lives. Here's the real reason why. The VA doesn't have enough providers. And that's not an accident. That's policy. One of Trump's first moves after returning to power was empowering Elon Musk and the meme coin clowns running Doge to fire 80,000 VA workers. Now, thankfully, that number dropped down to 30,000 after a massive amount of public pressure, but the damage is done. Clinical staff, schedulers, port workers, gone. Whole layers of the VA's capacity have been wiped out under this administration. At the same time, Republicans in Congress are siphoning billions of dollars out of the VA and handing it to private contractors with zero accountability. This is what it looks like when you want the VA to fail, so that you can privatize it and enrich your donors. And when the press starts to report the truth about this, the VA's top propagandist, a Fox News editor turned press secretary, gaslights the public. He lies. He tells you that there are no limits on care, tells you that no one's being punished. I've seen the evidence. CNN has seen the evidence. Let me be absolutely clear. I've seen the documents. And so is CNN. These whistleblowers are real, and they're risking everything to protect veterans. The VA wants to bait us into publishing the documents and exposing our sources. But I won't do that. I won't betray the patriots who saved my life and are still trying to save other veterans. Instead, I'm going to keep telling the truth, and I'll keep passing the evidence to trusted journalists who can protect these whistleblowers and hold power accountable. If you're a VA provider and you're seeing this happen, contact me. If you're a veteran who's been cut off from your care, tell me your story. If you're a journalist, a watchdog, a member of Congress who wants to see the proof, I'll connect you with my sources. And you can see the evidence for yourself. This isn't just a story about healthcare, it's about authoritarianism. It's about what happens when political operatives take over a public institution and try to destroy it from the inside. We must demand congressional investigations and give the House and Senate Republicans the opportunity to do the right thing or to stand in the way of saving veterans' lives. Let them reveal themselves. Then voters can hold them accountable at the ballot box.